Welcome. This service is provided by freeconferencecall.com.
There are 8 participants in the conference.
Okay, guys. Finally, I got it to work.
Q&A session has started.
All right. Let me just get over here. I'll give it a minute. Let the room fill up. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me? Give it a minute. Let the room fill up. What's up, guys? What's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me? Give it a minute. Let the room fill up. It's gonna echo for 1 second. Hold on. What's up, guys? I'm trying to set up a new thing here. Let's see if this works. Can you guys hear me? Give it a minute. Let the room fill up. It's gonna echo for 1 second. Hold on. What's up, guys? I'm trying to set up a new thing here. Let's see if this works. Can you guys hear me? Okay. Let's see. Conference call. Let's see if how this works. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm trying to use a headset that I have to hopefully get a clearer sound. Let's see. Wow, it doesn't even show me how many people are in this live stream right now. They are really messing with my stuff, guys. I really strongly urge everybody to go over and open up a Steemit account. It's free, and I am going to be putting more and more of my videos on DTube. Along with that, I have decided that I'm going to go into that. You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, it doesn't show me how many people are in here. Okay, now it does. Let's let it build up a little bit. Part of the problem is that a lot of people don't know that we're over here on this channel now because my updates are not going through. Having lots of problems with it. Let me see if triple's coming. Triple. Where are you at, triple? I didn't ask Harvey, but I know Harvey's, you know, kind of just started a new job, and he's probably pretty tired. Does the audio sound better with what I'm using right now? Does it sound better for you guys? Clearer than the other audio? I don't even know if it's actually going through the one that I put it through. Okay. I'm going to get, let's see, we got 56 people in here. Man, I don't really want to start the call until we at least get, I know we're at least going to have 100, so I'll just kind of go over a couple things while I wait, and then we'll begin the call. That way people aren't going to miss the caller's information, being that they won't be able to replay any of this until the call is over. Now, guys, I am going to have to wait to do the longer calls again. That's why I was asking everybody if you guys could help me out on this channel. It will only record the first 2 hours of a call. The last call the last live stream I did, it cut off the beginning, because once it reaches 2 hours, it cuts off until you're a full-fledged channel. People were thinking that the reason why I wanted 10,000 views on this is for other reasons, but it's actually, that's how you get a full-fledged channel. So unfortunately, we got to try to keep this to 2 hours or less. Otherwise, it's going to cut off the audio. So anybody that has any free time on their hands, if they could, you guys could just click on some videos, even if you just watch the first 3 seconds and then click off them. That way we can get this channel full-fledged and we can actually record the entire calls. I have a feeling we're going to run over that, and unfortunately I'm going to try to record it on the conference call itself, but that has a limited memory as well, and we have some pretty long calls on this channel. So yeah, it's kind of a crappy spot that I'm in with the main YouTube channel. I'm still waiting for the appeal to go through. Funny enough, it was a video that was made a month and a half ago that they hit me with, which is fine, whatever. It's going to take a hell of a lot more than that to keep me down. We've got very important stuff to do, and I took a lot of time to reflect this past week because we lost our direction as a family. I lost my direction as well. We were on a really good and strong path, and just with a couple disruptors in the mix, everybody got off track, and I'm here to get everybody back on track, get everybody's mind focused on the bigger picture, the goal. The goal is to end the Fed, to make real change. And that's what we were working on. We were making noise and waking people up. And I told everybody earlier today, and I didn't get a chance to do the video I was going to do, but I'm going to tell you guys because I'm still going to do that video. I have a personal challenge for everybody. And the personal challenge is, it's all up to you. The reward is what you gain from completing this personal challenge. And that is every single day, if you can find one person at minimum, and you can either sit them down or, speak with them over the phone or however you want to do it, and show them some of the easiest to understand information and some of the easiest to believe information. And your goal is to wake that one person up. If every single person, every single day, finds one person that they care about and wakes that one person up, then as a people, as a group, as a movement, we will grow so fast, it's not even funny. And we will be helping people so much just by getting them to understand everything that's been hidden from them for all this time. And the goal is one person, but you don't have to start there or stop there. If you wake one person up, you can wake 2 people up a day. You can choose to wake 3 people up a day. You can choose to wake 4 people up a day. The sky is the limit. It's all up to you guys to take your destiny by the hand and take control of it. It's not all about the money. This movement is not all about getting Federal Reserve notes that have absolutely no value, that are actually, they have a negative value because all they are is debt. The purpose of this movement is to wake people up, to help people, to empower people, to come together and unite and not let all of the tricks and all of the lies to divide us and conquer us succeed. It's for us to succeed as a people and as a family, as a community. And that was the original goal, and that is what I'm here for. It's funny, I was talking to some of Heather's team today, and you know, they're more into the whole spiritual aspect of it. Now, I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus and I believe in God. That's me personally. Okay. Everybody has their own beliefs, their own ideas, and none of them are wrong. That's all dependent on individuals and individual preferences, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I've been able to come together with some of these groups and put our differences aside and work together for the common good, for everybody in the world and in this country's benefit, to make the movement stronger, to make us have an easier time in succeeding at all of this. And I offer the same offer, I guess, to everyone, to every group, to every any person out there or any group of people out there that are willing to help people, to try to look out for people, to make sure that if we're unsure of something, we don't send people in a negative direction where they can be hurt, and to also take the time to make sure people understand what the greater good is and what the bigger picture is, not just be focused on hundreds of thousands or millions of Federal Reserve notes that ultimately have no value whatsoever. And a lot of people need to understand that if we succeed in what the overall goal is and what the bigger picture is, those Federal Reserve notes are not going to be anything. They're not going to be probably even existent at that point, because we're going to end the Fed. We're going to end the slavery system. We're going to end the fiat currency, and go to something that we all, as a people, as a race, as a species, decide to go to, where nobody's going to be exploited, and nobody's going to be abused or mistreated, or no life is going to be worth less than another. And see, this was part of where I kind of lost my own way, because I was getting caught up in all of the distractions. I allowed those distractions to confuse me and deter me and detour me. And you know, I'm only a man. I make my mistakes just like any other man or woman, and I have my flaws. I have my faults, and that's one of the beautiful things about being a man, a woman, you know, a human, is that we do have our differences and our flaws and whatever, and they're beautiful because we have them, you know, because God made us that way. So I do make a promise to you guys that I'm staying with the bigger picture in mind and my eye on the prize, and nothing is going to get in the way or change that. And even if it, you know, loses popularity or whatever, I'm going to continue with what is right and the right thing to do, and I'm going to stay on that path and not let these disruptions and distractions detour me, because I've got way too many people that are depending on all of us succeeding. You know, it's the entire race, the entire civilization. That's how serious this is. That's how important this is. And so I think sometimes we all kind of forget to realize just how big this is. It's huge. It's massive. It's probably the most important thing that anybody will ever do in all of time, perhaps. So with that, I just wanted to share with you guys some of my ideas and my thoughts. Now, I do want to also say I have come up in that reflection time. I've come up with other ideas, different ways to wake the masses, different ways to share the message, different ways to combat all of the negative press and the negative light that's going out. And here is something that I've come up with. I mentioned this a while back and then kind of got distracted with some other things, but we're losing a lot of potential to wake people up in the written news article side of things. So anybody that's listening or watching or in the call that feels comfortable with typing news articles, and if you don't personally want your name referenced in it, that's fine. Whatever you want to do, it's all up to you guys ultimately how you want to go about this. But I think as a movement, as a group, as a family, coming up with some written news articles to get out. I personally have media news like licenses or whatever for certain news outlets. I'm working on getting some more for some of the ones I don't have. They're pretty easy to get. You just go to the sites and then you apply to be able to put up stories or whatever. And then the first story, they will, check it really thoroughly to make sure that they're okay with what you're putting up. And then after that, you're pretty much good. So anybody that's willing to do that, please get in touch with me. I think that maybe taking some of the video, the videos that I've put up and others have put up, and maybe breaking them down into like a news article type deal would be a great way to combat some of the negative press going out there. Basically, we would be able to put those out on some of the most important information sources and videos that we've done, and that would access a larger chunk of people that are still asleep, because there are certain people out there that they prefer to read their stuff. They prefer to read it over watching a YouTube video or watching a Steam It video or watching whatever it may be. So I think that will definitely help us wake more people up. I think it'll definitely help us get some of the truth and the proof out there, which in turn would be a huge boost and help to the movement. So anybody that is interested in that, do me a favor, email me. This email, actually, you can actually call me on this one. If this is specifically for that, so this number is specifically for the business side of it, getting out media. I'm using this from now on as the media contact number. So like when I'm dealing with calling these different businesses and stuff, and they, how they put me through to the media line, that way I can say to them, hey, yeah, this is a business inquiry. I'm trying to get an official statement or whatever. That way they will take us more seriously. I'm actively doing things like this to try to build us as far as our credibility as a movement and as a group, and to basically, get the wheels of motion in place. So I've been really I know haven't had as much videos going out, but that's because I'm working on the back end with trying to get some big stuff going. So I think we're reaching about where we're going to reach for the moment, and I'm gonna get the conference call started. If anybody ends up missing out on the beginning, I'm gonna actually take this conference call. I will copy it and upload it to the main channel. So, and then there'll be a copy here as well. And Patsy passing flyers, that kind of stuff too. That's all part of it. There's several. This is a multifaceted approach that I've kind of come up with, and you guys have actually helped with a lot of the ideas, and I'm just kind of putting them into organization and plan, and I'm going to be having a specific call for people that want to be involved. It's going to be once a week. We're going to do a call, people that want to be involved in actually, going out, either doing the media or doing the out and about, handing out flyers, or holding, like, I guess you call it, like, protests, or people that want to hold like community gatherings in a public place to give people presentations. So I'm going to have a specific call just for that every week too, so we can kind of come up with those ideas. That'll be an open call. It's not going to be like a question and answer style call. If it gets to be too big and too noisy, then I'll have to go to a question and answer style call for that, only because nobody will ever be able to hear each other. But yeah, anybody that's interested, this is the phone number. This is for the business side of the movement altogether. It's 318-228-1572. And calling that number, you're only going to call that number for right now if you're interested in writing news articles, or you're good at typing, you're good at that kind of stuff. My fiance actually has volunteered herself to write some as well, because she feels compelled to help out. So she's gonna start working on making some of those for us also. And I have some other ideas regarding that. So those of you that are interested in that, I want to discuss some of the details with you, and some ways of that'll be beneficial to the group and everything. So again, that number is 318-228-1572. I'm gonna leave that in the chat here too. 318-228-1572. I haven't made the voicemail box or anything on there yet, so bear with me. But yeah, I told you guys, I got my mind on the prize, and my eye on the ball, and we're getting back to where we were headed in such an awesome direction, and we had an amazing momentum before all the distractions and disruptions, and I want to get us back there, because we were really kind of kicking ass and taking names. And we still are. Don't get me wrong, we still are. We just got a little bit detoured, and we lost a little bit of that momentum. So we just got to dust ourselves up, put our boots on a little bit tighter, and start marching forward. You guys are absolutely awesome. You've been keeping me up to date with all the information that you're finding. You have, been there supporting myself and each other and the channel, so much. It's been beautiful. It's been awesome. I absolutely love each and every one of you, because you guys are literally, you're tougher than nails, and you are so devoted. You guys really should be proud of yourselves. I know I'm proud of you. I wouldn't have been able to go even a fraction of how far I've gone without you guys. Your support, it helps me. It counteracts the trolls and all the negative vibrations that get shot at me in the cannon full. So you guys really are you're absolutely amazing, and I want each and every one of you to know that. And you guys are the heart of the movement. You guys are the movement as a whole. So I see Triple's here. Triple, I hope that you joined the call. Join the call. I will unmute you so you can take part as well. And I'm going to start answering some callers, because we're just about there. So let's see. Who do we got? Who do we have? Okay. Those of you that don't know the conference call number, the conference call number is on the screen. Okay. So anybody that wants to call in, feel free. And also, Randy tried getting a hold of me today. I was at my the Taekwondo tournament for my kids. So he's going to be calling me tomorrow. So I'll have a new video upload for you guys for Randy from jail with some more of the story of what's going on with him. 865. 865.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
Mike, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. I was going to say thanks to you, Triple Harvey, for the work you all done. You've done a good job. No, I don't got much time, so I'm going to keep it brief. I actually contacted you a couple of times. I'm actually in Knoxville, and we haven't heard anything about this case. Just to kind of add to the conspiracy.
Yeah, I actually saw your email there. You got my email back, right?
Yeah, today. But see, actually, I've tried you up the other day, and supposedly I got an email back from Randy's cousin, but I found the email a little odd. So I don't know if you actually emailed her my information, but
yeah, I did. I forwarded the information along. That's what I was calling. That's what I was calling people out, asking if they would be willing to help. It was because Randy was getting evicted, even though his rent was paid in advance. They still turned around and evicted him. And his cousin, she had no help really to get his stuff out. And yeah, it was kind of like a last minute thing. And so I forwarded the information along for those that had offered. And then she she contacted whoever I forwarded and whatnot. So
definitely. I've been kind of following, I would probably say a little bit over 2 months now. I actually tried to do a couple of transactions, had some reversals. I'm actually trying to get my evidence right now to challenge one of my main reversals for one of my car payments. And I actually work in banking right now, and just like some of the stories, some of the times I want to reach out and just comment on certain situations as far as how the companies are catching themselves and catch-22s and lies, as far as the denial reasons. And actually just researching some of the processing companies that take the payments for our companies. We pay so certain companies, you pay a bill. When you pay a bill, you have to pay that processing company as well. And that processing company notifies, and verifies that account. So when we get no account found, it's almost like they're telling us we can put any combination of numbers in, it's going to work. So we know that's not true.
right.
And to anybody out there that's doubting the conspiracy or this, and it's always going to be doubters like that, because I've seen actually kind of was aware of it a few years ago, just never really fully got into it. A friend of mine kind of brought me to the attention of UCC, how we don't really have to have a driver's license. So I kind of got hit there. And then I actually kind of noticed Social Security YouTube about a year ago. I never followed up into it. And I actually did notice, the number on the back of the car was associated with the Federal Reserve account. But I say that to say this. I actually called Telecheck, and you know how we say Ginger was a diversion.
Yeah.
But she actually made a good point when she brought up Telecheck, when she was having us use Telecheck to verify the unlegitimate accounts. So I had a rejection through Fingerhut, and then Telechecks came up. So I decided to call Telecheck since I finally got a denial from Telecheck, and she mentioned, that we can verify if account is active or not. So this was through the Fed routing number and my social. So I call in. She pretty much verifies me. Asked for the last four of my social. She says it's a business or a personal. I say business. She said, "What's the name of your business?" John Martin Jr. "What's your name?" John Martin Jr. Verify my current address. She didn't deny anything. And I was asking him really if there was any other denial besides that, because I was really wanting to know the denial for my car note. And she was saying no, but the Amazon, she bought the Amazon transaction. I didn't even know they tried the FBR account because my car was attached. And I actually had to call and listen to the conversations, call, get a representative to make that, your primary method of payment. So they actually did try to pull it from us, so there was a denial there for that. So just after having to confirm that, so I just, at the end of the call, so just to make sure, so I was going to ask her, I say, so just confirm my name is on the account, just to make sure that isn't going through. And she was like, yes. So just for anyone out there disputing that, you can call Telecheck yourself. It's valid, it's real. And like I said, I want to contribute, like, piggyback what you said, it's not about the money. You know, it's about the conspiracy that's going on with it. It's bigger and deeper than what a lot of people realize. And this is a good way to wake people up because a lot of people are in debt and it's going to get a lot of people's attention. I'm here in Knoxville. You know, we plan on trying to bring whatever kind of attention to, like I said, to this case as much as possible, you know, in different various ways. We even thought about going, maybe a lot of people going live at the same time, you know, from the courthouse, doing random interviews and just ask people, like, do you even know about this case or even know about, you know, what's going on in our country? And like I said, it's deep, man, and it's so sad it's going on, and it's right under our noses and our eyes, and it's playing us like we're fools. It's time for a change. It's time for a change.
Yeah, I actually have a contact that's going to be at the courthouse. So and it's, yeah, she's been a real good help and a good confidant. So she's definitely going to be there. You know, you bringing up going live and stuff. I've actually been thinking about another facet of what to do here. Is I think that I'm going to personally start going either like live or recording, and I'm going to go to public places, either the malls or the city or town courthouses, and start asking questions and raising awareness in public places and getting that out and getting that on YouTube and getting that out to you guys, so that then, you know, whoever else wants to kind of piggyback on that in their area is doing the same thing, waking people up and also raising awareness and asking questions. I think that will be an awesome addition and tool to all of this. But now you were saying something about that. So Telechecks was able to verify that the other account wasn't in fact real, huh? It was, so you found out that the Federal Reserve was real, but the others weren't.
One more time. I didn't hear that part.
So you were able through Telechecks to be able to verify that the Federal Reserve accounts were real, but then the other one that was being promoted was not. That's what you said?
I know. Well, you know, that's the one. You know, Judge mentioned that. You know, use Telechecks to verify the accounts they're there. So I never use it for those accounts. I tried the route number a couple of times and got some reversals. But when I actually got the Telecheck, the reversal that came up with Fingerhut, like I tried for Fingerhut, I tried, and like I said, I didn't even know that Amazon even had tried to run the account because they tried my card. And at the time, there was no money in my card. So, of course, it got denied. So I'm guessing they did try it. So when I did the Fingerhut last night, it gave me a denial code Telechecks. So I said, okay, let me call Telechecks. So I'll call just on the assumption of just checking on my transaction. And like I said, she verified everything. And when she put up the account, she hesitated for a minute. Like I said, actually, I work at a call center. I work for a national bank. Not going to disclose, for personal reasons. But that's what I do. And she was like, this business is personal. And she asked, I automatically knew with the caps, business. So I said, business. What's the name of your business? My name is John Martin Jr. So I said, John Martin Jr. What's your name? John Martin Jr. Can you verify your full address for me, city and state? I did that for her. And then, like I said, she proceeded, to assist me. Then I was wondering, like I said, my main transaction I'm worried about, like I'm getting ready to do my, get all my evidence I have and hopefully take legal action against my car dealership. Right. So I was worried about that transaction. And she brought up the Amazon transaction like that. I didn't even know they pulled it. So she brought that to my attention. And so at the end of the call, just for clarification, I was like, so my name is on the account, right? That isn't why I didn't go through. And she was like, yes, your name's on the account. I was like, okay, thank you. And unfortunately, I didn't have it recorded. I gave my call when my car dealership recorded because I kind of brought to their attention how I know they're playing games. I actually did my first transaction with the FRB account July 27th, right when everything started to crack down. Did to pay off my car. That went through, posted, got a confirmation of everything, did it online. Called the dealership on Friday. She said my account balance was 0. tried to access my account over the weekend. My online account, I couldn't even get on. It was disabled. They called me Monday the 1st. I missed the call. I called them back the 2nd. They gave me the limited participation, which a lot of people have been getting, limited participation. And I looked that up, see exactly what that was meaning. I get a letter in the mail saying insufficient funds. So it's already, I got two different responses. So this letter is saying there is an account, there just wasn't no funds there. Okay, I accept that, and it was over. It was actually over 10,000, so I knew better too. So that kind of drew a red flag. So I called, and just reading certain videos just to ask, certain information you need to ask for. So I got escalated, and I pretty much was wanting to know the denial reason. I said I need that in writing from the FRB. I was told I was advised I need that in writing, and I also need the disclosure agreement and user policy. We don't give out internal information. I'm not asking for any internal information. I'm asking for user agreement and disclosure policy. Is that online? Is it in my contract? Where can I find that? Then she also wanted to bring up something about fraud. I said, okay, I need that in writing as well, because this is my account. And like I said, that was never sent to me, never mentioned. That was brought up on their call. And then she got to say, because I led her to believe, I have an attorney representing me. I don't this time, but I can represent myself in court, I believe. But needless to say, she was, so who is your attorney? That's irrelevant in this case. He's on this call. I was advised to get this pertinent information as a consumer. And me, like I said, I work in finance. When customers get reversals on their loans, their ledgers, that reversal is on the same day. I got a printout for my ledger, for my dealership. Like I said, transaction posted. There's a difference between a pending transaction and a posted transaction. There is a difference. That transaction posted July 27th, which was a Thursday. They called me, and the ledger says it returned Monday, so that first. So, and just hearing a lot of people's testimony as far as like how the companies are keeping the money, or both. I think it's a combination of both at this point. I've been reading a lot on the Fed, how they made a lot of changes, and it's a lot of sugar and jargon going on behind the scenes. A lot.
Definitely.
Like you said, we got to stay persistent. I think we got to be persistent on these challenges as well. Because, like I said, I knew everything was real and true. But when I heard Touchstep confirm that, it's a go, bro. It's a go. And it's a go for everybody. Like I said, I'm to the point right now. Now I can honestly, with conviction, like I've told other people, they did transactional real, got reversals. Some of it work, some haven't. Well, all haven't. Everything's got reversed. None of them are stick. I actually got one sticking right now. My friend is used for Comcast. That was through the I think the last writing number for the AFCU. But yeah, it's tricky. Like now, even I tried to pay a ticket. I got a toll, and the last time I tried to pay with the account, whatever, you get like an error message, like you can't do a transaction. Like now, when you do it, it doesn't recognize any account number. Now it's just saying invalid account number. Well, we know these FRB account numbers, so we know these are valid account numbers. I even tried the Social Security credit union route number. Didn't take that. So yeah, they're doing a lot of changing right now, man. Playing with these systems. And I'm speaking from experience. I've been in the industry. They're trying to tell us, and like I said, we need to call these payment processing systems, and just for clarification, and then that's more evidence to back these creditors that they're lying. So they're trying to tell us that we can put any certain numbers in and get a confirmation number. That's not true. That's not true. That's why we have to pay these fees when we pay our bills to these processing companies. They're paying to verify the account and those funds. And like I said, I'm gonna do my research. I'm fighting. I'm gonna do it the right way. Because like I said, my name is on that account. What are you talking about fraud? Are you serious?
Right. So, and you said you're in banking. So, I mean, you know that none of these would be posting and remaining paid for as long as they are. Or
exactly.
they now this is the common thing people don't understand, is that the confirmation number, it can spit out a confirmation number. That is true. But the
right.
posting
But that also validates an account which they're disputing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They're saying account not found.
Right.
If you can't get a confirmation, and that's my point, Mike.
Well, Brian, you can go and file a UCC one then. But you know what? I obviously, you know, you haven't really seen the other side. You got to look at the harm that the UCC one can do. But so go ahead, sir. Sorry.
No, I wasn't speaking on UCC.
No, that was in the live feed. I got a whole bunch of the cheerleaders come over, and then they start trying to mess with people. So I'm just gonna from now on make sure I make a statement every time I see it.
Okay.
Anyway.
But yeah, even to you had a caller the other day speaking on the how the international immigrants got zeros on their Social Security card.
Yes.
You know, certain banks have what's called ghost accounts. Like I work for an in-store branch. I work for two banks. I work for an in-store branch. And if you ever go to like a major grocery store and they have a branch in there or any bank, you know, as a service or as a courtesy, they might cash that store's checks. And when we cash those checks, we enter in pretty much a ghost account. It's all consecutive numbers with just funds just to cash the check. So there was some legitimacy to what she was saying as far as the all zeros. You know, it's crazy, man. It's crazy and sad.
Definitely. But yeah, that's so being a banker, or not a banker, but working for a bank. So then because there's a lot of misinformation that's gotten shared. A lot of people don't realize that a confirmation number is separate from actually posting. That's why you don't always get a second email saying that it's posted, but most of the vendors and lenders and creditors that you pay will actually give you a second email letting you know that the payment has actually posted, and that is because when you have a confirmation number, that's a pre-authorization. It's saying, okay, well, you made a payment with something that looks like it's going to be okay, so we're going to honor it and give you a confirmation number and say you paid it already. Now, when it posts or it kicks, what's that?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, well, when it posts and then it kicks back, or it either posts then a day or two or 4 or however many days later, it'll post or it'll kick back out. And when it posts, that means that the funds have transferred from one account to the other. And that's funny because, yeah, you know, this Time article, I know a lot of people saw this New York Times article today. They actually shot themselves in the foot. They don't understand that the information that they gave out is so damning in that article. They said, they flat out admitted that representatives at the Federal Reserve have had to manually reverse however many millions of dollars from those transactions. So you mean to tell me you're saying the accounts don't exist, but they've had to manually reverse these transactions? So which is it? Do they not exist, or have your people actually had to reverse millions of transactions manually? And that's why I keep saying, instead of these lesser bank methods where you're opening up a door to potentially get yourself arrested, and it's just all that's doing is bypassing the Federal Reserve block or whatever anyway, and it's hitting the same account. Instead of doing that, hit their damn main door. That's what I'm doing anyway. I'm banging on their main door because guess what? If everybody's banging on the main door like they were, we saw it was very hard for them to keep up with. If they're all manually reversing these, then you got millions of people knocking down their side doors and their front doors all at the same time. They're not going to be able to keep up with us, guys. They're going to literally have to go out and hire 1 million people to keep up with them. So, and that's the thing, and that's what people are not understanding, and that's why I truthfully believe that some of these individuals that are pushing diehard paperwork and diehard using these other bank methods, lesser bank methods, et cetera, there's a reason for that, because they're taking your attention away from the main account, the main culprit, the main focus, the movement, what it's all about. And they're like, anybody that doesn't understand, go and watch that video I did. It's an hour and 20 minutes. Yes, there's not lots of special effects in it. There's not lots of booms and bangs, and it's a lot of me reading, and it's a lot of me disseminating information to you. But guess what? it's information, it's knowledge, it's power, and it expresses and explains exactly what every single person in any kind of one of these truth or movements needs to know. It breaks down the trolls and shills, their handbooks. It breaks down what they're about, how they're trained. In the book, it specifically, I put all the links there. It specifically tells you their methods, the way they operate, the way their methodology or methodology, whatever is to between first they'll distract and disrupt, and then they will mislead and confuse, and then they'll and then they'll start to smear. There's like specific things that they do, and it goes in like a certain order. And then it specifically explains in there how you'll have several of them at the same time, and they're all going to have different functions. You'll have one that's coming from a religious angle. You'll have one that's coming from like disrespectful, vulgar, or cocky angle, and then you'll have one coming from a very scientific angle. It's so crazy, but anybody that has not watched that in its entirety, you're missing out, because that information in there is absolute necessity and gold for anybody that really wants to understand the way things go. And that's honestly because of what I've seen and what I've dealt with and what's gone on. I've gotten so paranoid because I know I need to be paranoid. I mean, everybody needs to be paranoid, and they need to really pay attention to what information they're accepting and what information they're letting in, and the information that they don't even realize they're letting in subconsciously, because it's all there. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're okay. No, I'm soaking it up, man. I'm soaking it up. I was just going to piggyback one other thing to the confirmation, which is kind of like my biggest thing to the whole account. True enough, you can get a confirmation and payment can come back. My biggest thing on that is you can't just put any combination of numbers in and get a confirmation of. You see what I'm saying?
Definitely. Oh, for those that were asking, one second, I'm sorry. The name of that video was, did I just prove that government trolls and shills exist? Or did I just prove that government trolls and shills are a fact? I specifically show a study from, I think it was Oxford, that was conducted on the different government disruption agents throughout the world. And then I also did, I have a manual in there, which is their specific manual. It comes from the U.S. I think it was the NSA, if I'm not mistaken. It was either the NSA or the CIA. Okay, go ahead.
No, I should kind of forgot what was going on.
Sorry, man. I know. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good, man. You're good. I don't know if you got every good chance to get on. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm here, man, in Knoxville, and like I said, we haven't heard a thing on the news. And you would think something of this magnitude, you hear something locally, maybe maybe not nationally, but locally, it's just unreal. Like this, what's coming out in the light in these last couple of days. Interest rates still going up. All this people quitting, in Congress, resigning. It's a change is about to come, definitely. You know what I'm saying? And our generation is the ones going to spark it, man. They say that the revolution won't be televised. It's going to be streamed. The revolution will be streamed. It won't be televised. It'll be streamed. And it's going to have to be, because they blocking everything else. And it's going to be up to us, to do it. Like I said, y'all been doing a hell of a job, man. Like I said, for us, I got a team of people that's willing down and support as well, and just bring some light to the situation here, and to not just here, nationally,
Mm-hmm.
So we ready to get the message out.
Well, and
it's a lot of nothing.
You're very right when it comes to the news aspect, man, because here's the thing. Still to this day, any of the news articles or sources that have come out, they're all small fry BS, with the exception of that Times article, which that Times article is still like, it's probably, I didn't look at where its position is, but I guarantee it's probably on like the back page type deal. You know what I mean? It's not somewhere where it's openly available, and that's because they don't want enough people. Because if a lot of people see it, there's going to be a lot of people like us that say, huh, why is it, if you're saying the accounts don't exist, that your representatives have to sit there and manually reverse them? That doesn't make sense.
Oh, man, they're lying to us like in our face, and they treat us like we're stupid. And which you know, for years we have been subconsciously, because that's what they designed it to be. You know, and a lot of people reference, you know, this whole situation to the Matrix, and we are living in the Matrix, man. We living in the Matrix.
Oh, definitely, 100%.
There's so many people sleep. You know, like I said, it's not about the money, and like I said, I want to stress that too. And I'm just living check to check, just like the next. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping that some of these reversals come back. You know, a lot of people talking about, you know, reversing, but it's more so. And I was always been aware of the conscious, you know, since youth. So as far as, you know, the corruption or, you know, the evil that presides, I've always been conscious of that. But just kind of get confirmation when getting older and learning different things. And like I said, just my experiences, you know, they lie to us and plan to us. Stuff just don't make sense. You know, 1 + 1 always gonna equal 2. Always.
Right. Definitely.
1 + 1. 1 + 1 is gonna always equals 2. And you can't dispute that. You know, that's science, that's math. And even to like how we live in this country, like we supposed to be the top country in the world, and other countries live better. It's by design. Nothing. It's all by design, man. It's all by design. Like y'all say, it's an elite. It's just a few pulling the strings. 1% controlling 99%, and we gotta wake this whole 99% up so we can overtake that little 1%. They human just like us.
That's it.
We outnumber them.
That's
we
right.
Outnumber them. We outnumber them. That's what we gotta. That's what we gotta. One thing we gotta stress. You know, we gotta do it as a group and as a team. We outnumber them.
That we do, and you know, everybody's got to remember that, and you know, everybody here has been doing a really, you know, really good job. We just got to try to. We got to try to wake up the people that are still asleep, and that's going to be the biggest thing. And then, you know, even those that have, I guess you could say, trespassed against us and fallen to the dark side, if you will. We got to try to wake them up too. We got to try to wake them up out of the distraction that they're in, and you know, hey, look, you know, I know that you're thinking this, but, and then you got to try to share that to them, because they're all being led down the wrong path right now, and they don't even realize that they're the way to beat this is the way we were doing it, and that's why all of a sudden we had all those distractions and disruptions, because we were literally on point. We were on point, and we still are. We were figuring it out. We was cracking the code. Yeah, and you know what the big point of it was that we weren't sitting there and focusing on pulling routing numbers out of our ass. We were waking people up, and we were making noise, and we were coming together, and that's what they were afraid of. That is the thing that they fear the most, is people coming together, uniting, getting on a united front, waking people up, and making noise. And that's exactly what we were doing. I truthfully, I don't think it would have taken us long to hit 5 or 10 million at the rate we were going. It was like insane how quickly people were waking up and coming together. And we still have that going. It's just we had a couple hurdles, you know. We had a couple bumps. We had to change our to our spare tire, and we're going back down the road. So, you know, everybody, you're doing
everything happens for a reason. That's a part of the challenge. You know, it's not gonna be easy. And like I said, even though Ginger was a diversion, she kind of gave us, you know, a secret negative. You know. Call telechecks now. It's no joke.
Oh, we already had that. Yeah, we already had the telechecks though. Yeah. The telechecks was I put out a video reversals with Todd. That was, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks ago. That was specified using telechecks back then. Yeah, we already had that, but it just, you know, we're doing good, man. You know, we got a lot of information that's come out, a lot of documents, a lot of stuff to go through. And I'm telling you what, I'm gonna have a field day with that Times article. I knew about it earlier. I did a couple videos earlier, and then I had to run out and handle a couple things.
Is that
but-
the one with the 6 million?
Yeah, that's where they're talking about how there's a Times article talking about how there's been so many million that the Federal Reserve had to reverse manually. It was Uncle Sam won't pay your bills. That's the name of it. Actually, you know what? I'll pull it up on the live stream. And for those of you that want to call in, the numbers on the screen here. The code is there as well. And anybody that's already in the conference call, all you got to do is hit *6 to get in line. Okay. But yeah, I'll throw that up on the screen. Did you have anything else you wanted to add, brother?
No, not at this time, man. I won't take up no more time so I can keep up the good job, and definitely keep in contact with me, man.
Will do, man.
Definitely reach out to me.
Will do, brother. Definitely. Thank you so much.
All right, no problem, man.
All right. Wait. Jay, you were so patiently waiting, brother. What's up?
All right, Mike, how's it going? This is Jay. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. What's up?
Awesome. Giving you guys a call, I want to thank y'all for what you're doing. That last caller, man, you guys could have talked for 2 or 3 more hours. I would have been willing to listen to it all.
Well,
I've been kind of out of the loop. I work a lot, and you'd said that you had kept in contact with Heather's team, and there's a couple of questions that I'm wondering if they said anything about why you guys were talking. The first one, a while back, Heather had said something about the next 24 to 36 hours was going to be crucial. And I've been combing the news and trying to see what's what. It might have been that whole situation with the tanker that ran into the ship or something. But do you know of any big events that had happened around that time? And then earlier on, there was a remark about the reversals being reversed, or the folks was going to lose access or something like that. Do you know if they said anything about that, what that was all about, and what has happened?
Yeah, as far as like the 24 to 36 hours, I don't really know what happened during that time frame. I don't know if anything did. It also could be that something was happening behind the scenes. Who knows? Like I'm not talking with Heather directly. I've been talking with Randy to kind of support everything and get his story out. Heather's team, I work in collaboration with them for keeping the movement strong. I don't particularly share all the same ideas and beliefs and whatnot, though. So, like, I want to stress I'm still independent. Now, when I was talking to Heather's team, like I do that, you know, on and off, especially like when I started hearing information being shared where it was being said that Heather was being released within 24 to 36 hours, and I could not find where that was coming from. So then I would go and I would talk with Heather's team and find out, okay, that is in fact a lie. But I don't like sit there, you know, talking to them all day. I just communicate on and off, usually pertaining to specific information that I may have or that they may have. Now, the other part of that you were asking about the reversals being reversed, I heard I have heard quite a bit that there's been people who've had reversals and they have reversed. But again, I mean, she's incarcerated at the moment. Now, it could be that that's something again that's being worked on in behind the scenes. But I don't I'm entirely independent of pretty much everybody. I just try to work with everybody, I guess you'd say, to make the movement stronger. But I retain my own beliefs, my own ideas. You know, I don't knock anybody for what they think or believe. But as I'm sure everybody can remember and has heard me say, when it comes to certain things that are said, I don't say, well, you know, just take that and automatically take that as word, and no, there's no use to keep, you know, knocking on the door and keep working at it. I always say,
don't accept it as a win before it's already happened. Let's keep banging on the, let's keep going. We got to keep the pressure on them and keep our foot on their neck. So, again, I can find out and then do an update. I know that was said, that was in one of the calls that was done. And I know that was around the eclipse time frame that you're asking pertaining to. There was that issue with the tanker with where the Navy was shut down effectively for a time frame.
Right.
There's actually been there has been a few things that have happened though, largely that have, I guess you could consider kind of big, but I don't know. I don't follow any one person as like my messiah or my sole information source. I kind of go all around. I like to verify everything that I pull in from several sources. Thus, with like Heather's UCC filings, I went to other sources versus just going to IUV, because that's just what I personally am, the kind that I have to see things to believe them. I'm a realist. I don't, just kind of, that's part of what I was talking to them about today. Actually, funny enough, was that, when I believe in God and I believe in Jesus and I'm a Christian. But when it comes to like all the other, like, the more spiritual world, and I'm not talking Christianity. I'm very, solid in my beliefs there. I'm talking how some other people have the different beliefs and they're more spiritual in different regards. That's not like the message that I'm here. I know what I'm here for, what I've been put, what I feel my purpose, on this earth is to be here to wake people up, help them get started in their wake up journey, and get the message of truth out there and help people find the truth, and basically kind of try to unite people and help them. That's what I'm here for. I don't try to dabble on the supernatural, or I believe in the supernatural, but I don't dabble, like I don't try to preach it or anything like that, because it's just I'm not the most educated person in those topics. I'm more of as I said, a realist, and I kind of am I'm the kind of person that goes along the lines of finding my information, and I like to take facts. I don't kind of take up in the air type stuff. And again, as I've said, I don't judge anybody for their beliefs or ideas. I think it's important for the community and the movement to for everybody to be willing to put their beliefs and ideas aside, for us to become stronger as a whole. We're going to have people from all different walks of life, all different religions, races, creeds, sexes, and whatever. And, the key to winning this is we can't do it from a closed mindset or on our own. Yes, it starts with one and et cetera, but we need to all be willing to put whatever our beliefs are aside when it's when it's not going to cause harm to people. I'm going to correct that part in. If people are trying to really share the truth and not put people in harm's way, then I totally want to work with them and collaborate just like I'm doing with them. You know what I mean? I'll definitely I'll try to talk to them and find out if what exactly they were pertaining to. But I wasn't really looking into that. I was more looking into facts and stuff that I can see, if you know what I mean.
Most definitely I understand. Thank you for that. Two last quick points. First, what say you about the theory that this whole access that we were given is actually a test run to us getting unfettered access later on down the line, but that the dollars would be severely devalued? And then lastly, let's say, a month, 45 days from now, in your crystal ball, your opinion, best case scenario, worst case scenario, where do you see this possibly going, all of this?
Well, as far as the test run, I know there was a call going around where somebody, where was that call? Do you know? Do you know who did that? Let me see. Because I know there was some kind of a call and it sounded very, what's the nice word to use for it? I didn't trust it. Put it that way. So I mean, I don't know that this was necessarily like a test. I don't think this was a test run. Now, at the same time, I don't think that this information was accidentally unleashed. I personally, from the beginning, and I've been very clear on the fact, thinking that the information was either intentionally leaked for a specific purpose, or that it was leaked by somebody who was not, maybe they had good intentions, or maybe they didn't have good intentions. Now, I know there was variations of this from years ago, but it was not the same. People were running around saying that the exact same thing was going around years ago, but that's not the case. There has been different groups that had used similar approaches, as we heard in the last conference call that I did with the gentleman that was talking about Winston Shrout and the different routing number there, but they weren't specifically doing it in this regard. They were writing like A for V in Czech, and I know that Bleeding Edge Digital there, he's got a video claiming, oh, see, this has been around forever, and he's going over people that were using this for A for Vs. That's how the variation of this was used before, which is totally different. They were writing up A for Vs. A for V is completely separate from what we're doing. What we're doing is we're making online payments through a digital or a electronic payment service using our social and our routing number. Now, essentially, it falls in the same kind of category because with A for V, you were using the social as your account number and you were using different routing numbers. But it's different. We're not writing up A for Vs and sending them out. We're using this digitally. So just to put that out there for those that do not, don't know that, if you come across that, this is not the same. That's why I kind of like, I get a little bit frustrated when I hear, men and women running around saying, oh, this is the same thing. It's just being regurgitated. No, it's not the same thing. This is completely different. We're not writing up A for Vs and sending them out. We are, using a social security number and a routing number for a electronic purchase. I guess if you want to say it, I guess it evolved, but it's not the same exact thing. So, and then you're talking about, what was the second question? Sorry. Say that again.
30 to 45 days from now, just in your estimate, like, best case scenario, worst case scenario, where do you see all this going?
Well, best case scenario, 30 to 45 days from now is we have, we're double the size that we were, that we're coming up with fantastic ideas to continue waking people up. And that we're making some kind of damage to getting our mission, which is to end the Federal Reserve and the slavery debt system. As I said, I'm not all about the money, and that's not what I want. That's what this never was supposed to be. That it was never supposed to be, hey, okay, yeah, let's go buy $150,000 or get 150,000 Federal Reserve notes in our accounts, and then have our accounts locked. It was discharge your debt so you could live a little bit easier and have some of the pressure off of you, and then you're not as which makes your life a little bit simpler for all those struggling, and to continue waking people up and helping people, not making a get rich quick scheme. That was never what this was supposed to be. This was a pure movement that is kind of, I guess you could say, getting perverted. The purpose of this, if it could go the way that I'm hoping, is that in a month that will hopefully double in size, and we'll have an established plan and be actively working on getting the Fed ended, and possibly getting enough attention that maybe the politicians are starting to listen and starting to also put pressure on the rest of government and the Federal Reserve, and ending this corrupt slavery system. I mean, this is about helping people. This is about empowering, everybody, and making people's lives better. Not floating around a bunch of unnecessary objects or money that really doesn't matter. It's about bettering people and getting the right message across, and waking people up, stopping some of these heinous acts that have been committed. So I don't know if that answers your question, but worst case scenario, I guess we're in the same position we are right now. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? I don't see, like, some. I'm not one to think the Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and I'm not one to fearmonger. So I believe in positivity and empowerment, and helping everybody. So.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for your time. I actually, because I work so much and everything, I didn't see the movement breaking up at all. I've heard some people talk about it, but I mean, everybody still, as far as, I've only been paying attention since mid-July, and everybody still seems to be going strong. We're all still trying to make things happen. Word of mouth, it's being spread. I tell people about this all the time. And I come across folks, and I tell them about this, and I say, be careful. I mean, if you owe a bunch of money on a bunch of things, you may not want to catch the fees, that you may entail, but you have to wonder why this account is actually there. Just like the last caller, I as well called Telecheck about an account that I had, in regards to all this, and the lady verified it and everything. And I mean, even when I tried to make a payment on my loan, and it came back as limited participation DFI. I mean, it didn't say RO3 or RO4, which was an invalid account number. So the account is there. And I do believe that we will have access to these accounts, but there is something bigger coming from the rest of this. And I think it's going to involve a change that affects the entire world as we know it. So I'm hoping and praying for the best. I do hope and pray every day that Randy Bean and Heather are released. And I hope everything just continues to go good. Much love to everybody who's listening. And thank you guys for what you're doing.
Best case scenario, that as well, that, we get enough attention going. And that's, there's a lot of people are not understanding, like, why I'm doing all that. But, their cases expose a lot. And, those two are sitting in prison for the same exact thing that we've all been doing. They just did it in a much bigger way. And, hopefully by, 30 to 45 days, they're released. That's what I'd really like to see. And also, again, I don't think that anybody needs millions of Federal Reserve notes. I don't think it's going to do anybody any good. I think that best case scenario is in 30 to 45 days, we were able to continuously discharge our debts, and the pressure and the stress is relieved on a lot of these innocent people that have been struggling their entire lives. So I'm hoping that that's the best case scenario. I mean, yeah, it'd be great if we could pull out some cash to be able to buy, some things that are necessities or whatever. But I don't think that ultimately, if everybody does access millions or billions all at once, then yeah, we all know what's going to happen. It's just going to totally destabilize the dollar, and it's going to be useless at that point. So
with the idea, though, that anything could happen, I mean, we can try and create a world where, instead of having a McDonald's and a Wendy's on every corner, we've got a bunch of doctors out there. I was telling some folks that I know a while back that if this actually does work, and we actually, can get people out there that want education, that can, get a better education,
right?
You wouldn't have to pay $50,000 and $60,000 to go to the cardiologist,
right?
And, it'd be a pretty good thing. I'm going to ready to take off here because I know you guys got callers and everything. But if you ever get a chance, something I just found out about through the IUV website, it's called the Court Registry Investment System. Yeah. I about floored myself when I heard about that and what it's about. I just said, oh my goodness, it is what it is. But Mike, thank you so much for what you're doing. And I want to thank everybody else who's out there in this movement doing what they do as well, because there are those of us that work a lot, you know, and we get a little bit of time and we try and pay attention to as many videos as we can. And we tell people about what we can when we can, you know, but hey, making $1,400 a month, $700 of that is going towards child support. You know, I'm kind of busy.
Yeah, and you know that's another part of it. I mean, truthfully, what I'd like to see is the FEN ended and back to a better society where you don't have stuff like that happening, where you're able to take care of your child without not even being able to spend the time with them that you have when you have them, because you're too busy trying to make sure that the government is satisfied with what you're contributing. You know, maybe if they weren't taking a quarter or a third of your paycheck, then you'd be able to make better on your on what your spouse or whatever needed. You know what I mean? They're taking more than they're taking food from your kid's mouth essentially. And I know it's insane. And that's also that these rich bankers that already have a central bank and own every country in the world, with the exception of what, 3, can just continue with their lifestyle and their power. So
oh, but no doubt, but nothing is forever, and the stuff that they've got going, it's not going to last forever. We're going to create a better world for ourselves and for our children and for our elderly. And it's because of folks like you, Mike, and the other folks like Triple and Harvey and Heather and BZ and all these folks. Is, you know, everybody's a little different, but we're all going to work together and we're all going to get it done. So I wish everybody the best of luck. Let's get into this week and make good things happen.
That's
God
awesome.
bless everybody.
Thank you. You've got the right mindset, brother.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Right. 240.
Hello, Mike.
How are you?
How are you, Mike? This is Mady. I called in one thing last week. 2 things. I do have that article up right now from the New York Times.
Yep, I have it up also.
Okay, yeah, they seem to be a little indecisive as to really what to call this, or their words keep changing as it's a scheme or it's a scam and theft. It can't be identity theft if I'm using my information. Then they're saying that they have the FBI. You do that involved, but they declined to make a comment that says, you know, all allegations of these crimes seriously and encourages anyone who has fallen victim or who has information reported to the agency. That's the first thing. Number 2 is I've been looking more into the QSIP when it comes to my car loan. And I've actually found a website that tells you what you can use to see if your car loan people will actually buckle down. And so I did send in one Friday to one dealership, and I asked them for the QSIP number. So I guess I'm going to have to wait to see how they respond. Because in this article, I was trying to pull it up, the article was saying that they sell your loan for bonds, and all money that's generated is usually supposed to go to you, the applicant, because the application belongs to you. That's your information and everything on it, and that it's a fraud when they do that. They're not supposed to do it, and they said, right. So, and they gave a couple of tips, you know, what to put on and what to write down and stuff like that. So I'm using that. Then there's another. This is okay. This is People's Internet Radio. And it says QSIP number and how it can wipe out all debt in this time. So says if you see below by Diamond. Oh, I cannot pronounce the last name, but this was actually put out in 2014. So I'm not really hearing a lot of people talk too much about the QSIP on the levels that I'm dealing with it right now. So is there anything different that you want to share with us about the QSIP number Not
The QSIPs are important, but it's not like the QSIP is not going to be. I guess you'd want to say as important as this. Like, it's not going to unlock as much as say a social, because QSIP is tied to specific. I mean, you've got multiple QSIP numbers. That's the best way to explain it. Depending on the different situations and the different bonds and whatnot that you end up, what do you want to say? I guess creating through different actions in your life without even realizing it. Each one's going to have its own individual QSIP number. Now, the QSIP number on the back of your card, however, that is going to cover multiples as well. That's what's so special about the GMEI and the Fidelity. That's why I did the video of Fidelity back then, was because that QSIP number does hold some weight, and it is important, but the Social Security number is going to probably be, I mean, it's along the same lines. It's just I don't personally feel that it's as valuable, say, as the social is. The social is kind of like your ticket to the account, whereas the QSIP is more of a ticket to your bonds and securities. Does that make sense?
right, because when I was reading up on it from this particular article, he was just generally talking about for your car loans and your mortgage loans, and nothing else. And that I do know that the QSIP number goes a long way. I did pull up the QSIP number for both of the dealerships, and they have one too. But finding the QSIP number for my loan might be a little bit more, might be a little harder because I have to really dig in. And I have been doing a lot of research. I do not have many of your videos because I just started about 3-4 months ago. My son turned me on to you guys, and I've been following you every day, even at work. I'm in this freaking phone. I'm going over my minutes on this phone. I am an African American young lady, and I have to say this. I always thought that being quote unquote, descendant of slaves and stuff like that was the worst thing that my people have faced. But when I started listening to you guys, I think this is the worst of the worst that any culture has ever faced, because they're not doing it to a specific culture or race. They're doing this to everyone. And I agree with you. It's not about the money. I just want my bills to be paid. I'm just a normal little country city girl that just wants to be able to sit back sometimes and take a real vacation. I do vacation days, but I've never had a real vacation or anything like that. But it's more about
could you just
fight. It's more about wiping these people out, like you said.
Would you mind?
I talk to people all the time. Go ahead.
Just one. I'm sorry. Just 1 second, Steve. Stop saying that if you're a secured party creditor or file UCCs, then you're going to be able to access it. Okay, if you've done that, then prove it. I see hundreds of you guys running around saying that you need to do this or you need to do that. Each and every one of you is still here, and you're still looking for the same solutions. Okay. What I found is anybody peddling that crap is doing it because they're selling a self-help packet. Just like Mosaic or whatever his name is, he's going to be another rat of the day, and that's coming this week. I'm going to call each and every one of you guys out because you're telling people to do things that are going to end up getting their asses in trouble. Enough's enough. I see you put anything about secured party creditors or UCCs up here, you're blocked. That's it. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it had to be said. But I've been talking to people and just giving them bits and pieces like you said. But I want you to be able to type up something with your website on it where they can go to. And I told them, you're going to have to read. A lot of people out here are not reading thoroughly. Everything that you guys talk about, I tried to pull it up. It's a lot of reading, but if you want to get a clear understanding as to who's telling you the truth, don't go by somebody's word. You have to read it. I commend you guys. Oh my God, I commend you. You and Eon, especially, doing the work that you do. You guys are freaking awesome. Triple Harvey, I've heard the negative things about him, and generally, You know this. Everyone that has said something negative with someone that had reversal. I've had some reversals, but I'm not giving up. But I'm not going to be angry and say, "Oh, this stuff doesn't work" or whatever. Maybe it was something I did. Maybe I didn't have the right numbers, or maybe they stopped it before I got a hold to it, or something. I don't know, but it's something to it because there's no way that my social security number should be an account number for any bank out here. But that's all I want to say. But I want to thank you for all the hard, diligent work that you do. I actually thought you guys got cut off the other day because you didn't come on to after 12. And I'm like, I don't know how to contact them. I don't know how to contact them. What was going on? Maybe that's when you took your little break that you spoke of on another little video or something. And you deserved it because you do a lot. But thank you so much. And to all of those out there that are listening that are still here, I am not going anywhere. I'm here with you. I'm in the fight, the entire fight.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Much love.
You're welcome.
Doug. What's up, Doug?
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I just want. I've been listening to you for a couple weeks now. I haven't had any luck with the routing number. I called that telecheck and they said invalid account. But yeah.
Which routing?
The one on my social security card.
Well, there's no routing on your social. Which?
Well, no, my social security card and the routing number with the associated to the back the letter. Which I'm Philadelphia, and yeah, it just comes back no invalid account.
You said which letter are you?
C.
C. Huh. What I personally would do is, and this is just me personally, I would check around, see if there's any newer numbers that have come out with that, and if that's not working, I would potentially check out the ones in your area that you live.
In Michigan, you mean?
Yeah, I would look and see the closest one near you or me in that regard.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking my next choice would be to get a new social security card and see if that's different and try that too, because you're allowed 10 through your lifetime.
Yeah.
Supposedly. And each one of them is going to be a different account. So, but I know that it's true, man. I mean, we're all being enslaved for their benefit, and I personally do everything I can to defy them. I haven't had a plate on my pickup at home for 4 years now. I refuse to do it. Other than if I'm buy a vehicle you're under contract, obviously you got to have a plate, because if you don't, they're going to take the car back. But my personal one that I have paid off, I owe nobody on that. I won't put a plate on it. I haven't in 4 years. I won't carry my driver's license with me when I'm at home. I drive truck for a living. Obviously, I got to have a driver's license, but yeah, I just do everything I can to defy them because they're evil.
So, I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time.
About my driver's license?
Yeah, they're messing with your driver's license?
No. When I'm at home, my truck, my pickup that I have paid off, I haven't had a plate on that in 4 years. You're not required to have a plate for your personal transportation. You're not required to have a driver's license unless you're driving commercially. And there's so many things out there that we're being taken advantage of for their benefit, for their profit. I refuse to be part of that.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. I mean, we have a right to travel unless we're traveling for business purposes.
Exactly. I mean, I have a driver's license. I drive truck for a living, but when I'm home, I don't carry it with me. I personally haven't been pulled over since I've been doing this, but I do know people that have been pulled over in my town for doing this. And for instance, I have a friend of mine that in 2 days, got 10 tickets and refused to bow down to them in court, and all 10 tickets were dropped.
Huh. So all 10 tickets were dropped, you said?
Everything was dropped. Yes.
Nice.
So, I believe that it's we the people, not we the government. And the more people that see that and understand that that's the way it's supposed to be, I think the better off we'll be. The better off our kids will be, the better off our grandkids will be. Because it's not just about us; it's about the future of our family.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want to take up any more of your time. I know there's other people out there that want to talk, and I just want to tell you that I appreciate you, man, and everything that you're doing. And all the naysayers, to me, they're sheep. They're the ones that the government want to act like that, and so be it. I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got a right to their choice and what they want to believe in, but they want to be sheep, let them be sheep.
Yeah, definitely. I agree there. So, yeah, I actually, let me see. Do we have more callers? I don't know if we have. I don't have that many callers tonight. Those that are in the call I think some people don't know how you hit *6, but I'm pulling up because this guy's in the chat saying prove that it can get you in trouble. So I'm about to do that for you guys. Let's see.
Are you on video right now, Mike? Because I'm not seeing anything.
No, I'm showing the screen with I do that when I'm doing the call, so that people can see the number and the call-in information. Anybody that's got anything they want to say, feel free, call in. We actually are too busy tonight. I know a lot of that's got to do with there's a fight going on, and then we also have it's tough. A lot of people don't even know that we're moved. I know my notifications are not going out to everybody. I'm trying to work on a list for everybody to be able to email me, and then I'll basically put you guys on an email list. So since YouTube wants to mess with my notifications, I can email you when videos go out. And I can email you when we're going to have conference calls and that kind of stuff. Now, that's not going to work for those that have no idea what's going on. But I'm pretty sure that the YouTube censorship campaign, they said it was going to be a couple weeks, and it seems like it's right on schedule. That it kind of kicked in a couple days ago. It seems like a lot of people that are putting out information, truth information, are having the same problems that I am.
Am I still on?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you're still on. Feel free. And then
I joined the. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
And the gentleman that was the first caller tonight, if you also have more that you want to say, feel free to hop back in line. Go ahead.
I had joined the Michigan YouTube group the other day, and I don't know, it was last week sometime, but I don't know if they're not allowing certain posts or what, but there's only been one, I think, post on there since. It's just not very active, and I don't know if they're not allowing things on there or what. Or maybe it's just that it's a new group.
Which group is that?
The YouTube, you started Michigan groups throughout the country.
Yeah, I actually, I don't know if I added a admin there. There may be a whole bunch of people that are that try to get in.
There is an admin there.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I haven't really been broadcasting those lately. 'cause I've had so much other stuff I'm working on. But you guys also, I mean, that's kind of like what the idea of those local groups were to feel free to invite people from your areas. And use that as a tool, an information source for people to be able to then wake up. I am going to put out some more videos for those community outreach groups. I have other plans for the community outreach program altogether. My goal is that once I get the channel to a point where I'm financially able to do so, I want to kind of travel around a little bit and come out and work on like actual wake up groups, seminar type things, except they're all free. I'll never do what some of these people are doing where they're charging for information. I think that's just bogus. So yeah, that's one of the plans that I have. I'm working on getting like a really good wake up program video series with some of the people I'm collaborating with. That way I can possibly, when I'm in a position to travel around and visit you guys, and that way you'd be able to we can put a bunch of flyers out, put it out there online so people know, and do some like group wake up type things. Really try to make some noise, make some waves, and make a real difference.
Is there a way to get around YouTube? Maybe another kind of conferencing or posting videos? I mean, there's got to be something else other than YouTube where they're not censoring it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I did a video with it, and I'm gonna I think I messed the link up. I'm gonna redo the link for you guys, but it runs off of Steemit. Hold on. I was gonna put that article up for everybody. Hold on one second, guys. I'm trying to get it. And this is just the title alone should tell you guys why you don't want to file a UCC1. Wow, I've got all kinds of stuff going on here. What do I have all of this going on? Okay. Now, I'll screen share that. This is one. I got a few of them I'll go through. But you guys can feel free to read this while we're discussing. As you can see, the title alone should tell you, because as soon as you're filing the UCCs, all the UCCs, then you're being labeled as a sovereign, because that's what they consider a sovereign citizen, part of the sovereign citizen movement.
technically, aren't we born sovereign, you know, before the birth certificate?
Well, we can. Here's the thing. I mean, I don't really want to go too much talking about sovereigns and sovereign citizens, especially on camera, because I don't want to be labeled as that. I already had Bleeding Edge Digital trying to label myself and Harvey and a bunch of other people as that, which he's basically putting every single person he's saying that about in danger. Now that it's classified as a terrorist organization. So technically we're all sovereign in the sense of, you know, being and existing, but there's a difference between being sovereign and a sovereign citizen. So
Right.
But yeah, so now what was that?
Me?
Yeah. Did you have anything else you want to go over?
No. I'm gonna check out that DTube.
Yeah, DTube actually, it's pretty cool, man. It goes off of Steam, and I haven't seen like a subscribe button or anything on there. But what I did figure out is if you're subscribed to my blog on Steam, which I was using before to put up videos, then you'll get notifications of my videos on DTube because it's part of Steam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a new. I mean, they literally kind of built DTube off of this. Like, it's very similar to YouTube. It's almost identical, the user interface and all that. So for anybody that uses YouTube, it's not like you're going to have a huge difference compared to from DTube to YouTube. And here's the beautiful part about it. Is for all you guys that are sitting there liking the videos and commenting on the videos and all of that, you can actually make revenue from doing all the stuff that you do. So if you put up a really good comment and people a lot of people like your comment, or a lot of people comment on your comment, then you guys as viewers make money. So you really can't beat it. It's that's one of the reasons why I went to Steam It to begin with, because of the fact that it kind of allows you guys to benefit from something that you already do. So,
all right. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time up. Like I said, I do appreciate what you do, and man, I hope this grows. Because the more people, the better off we'll be.
Awesome. I appreciate your call. I appreciate you sharing that information. Yeah, much love, brother. Thank you.
Same to you, man. Have a good night.
You too, bud. Anybody else who wants to call in, just hop in line. I'm gonna talk and babble for a couple minutes, I guess. Go over some different stuff. If anybody decides that they want to hop in line, feel free. Let me see here. That's that. And for anybody that doesn't know, we have the group Skype. The group Skype was, I put up a video about that today. Go over a couple little odds and ends here. What is going on with my computer right now? Do I want to debate, Steve? Oh, man, these guys are funny. So, Steve, I got a debate for you. So if you've done your secure party creditor and you've done your UCC, then do you have proof that you have access to your account, Steve? Do you have proof? Put up some proof on the live. I don't want to hear your words until you have proof. That's the bottom line, because that's what none of you can do. Every single one of you is peddling this bullshit, and none of you can provide a single stitch of freaking proof. Not a single one of you can provide proof. Quit perverting the movement. Dude, you don't think that I know that that's you, friggin' Mythbuster? I knew you changed your name. I pay attention to stuff, bro. No, I've got 300 videos of proof. Every single one of you secured party creditors that are trying to shove your bullshit paperwork that can actually end people up in jail cannot prove a stitch of proof that it does a damn thing. What has it got you? Because you're still sitting here, aren't you? You're still sitting here. You're still looking for the newest answer, the newest thing that you could try out, because doing all that paperwork did what? Zippo, nada, nilch. Yeah, I know it's you, Quit. I knew it. I pay attention to stuff, man. I keep an eye on the trolls. So I need to obviously assign a few moderators for this channel. And oh yeah, by the way, hey, Mythbuster, quit perverting the truth. So where's that? Just like you're talking about over here, where's that proof, man? Where are those videos where I was saying negative stuff about Harvey in the beginning? I was saying Harvey was a scammer, blah blah blah. Where are those videos, man? Why'd you all of a sudden change your name after you went over there and made a big huge statement that you had non-existent videos? That's what I thought. He comes over here and he's trying to pretend, oh, Ginger's she's spreading a whole bunch of bullshit, trying to pretend like trying to creep around. Bye. It's funny, man. Look at these trolls. I know, they are distractions. I'm not letting distractions distract me anymore. Steve, I don't need to debate you. I already asked you. Show proof or shut up. Here. Email me proof, and when you email me proof, I'll unblock you. How's that? Bye. These guys are something else, man. Who's getting spanked? I'm not getting spanked. These guys got no proof. They come in here and they spit a bunch of bullshit. And you guys see, you guys are awesome though, because you all see through it. You see right through the bullshit. Harvey, yeah, Harvey's got a good heart, man. Harvey may not come across sometimes in the best way with the language, but I've come to understand. I mean, before I started doing videos recently, I really never swore, and I've got to the point that I've started to swear. It's just from dealing with all the BS, man. Harvey's got a good heart. His heart's in the right place. He's done a lot for everybody. Oh, somebody's getting yeah, that was me packing my cigarettes. But I guess you could say I was spanking Steve because he wanted to spout off him and Troll Hunter, or not Troll Hunter, Mythbuster, whatever his name is. So, what do you guys got any questions for me?
Oh, I'm not letting him get. I'm laughing at him. I'm done. I'm done dealing with him in that regard. I'm just laughing at all of them because they're a joke. They're all a joke. That's all they are. It's funny. I'm gonna start doing like a game show with like the troll of the week or something, and I'm gonna like put them in order. I think it'll be hilarious. And you guys, I need you guys to give me your submissions for the rats of the day. I'd like to keep doing the rat of the day. I think that was fun. I also want to do snake of the day. And, you know, let's have some fun with these guys. Laughter is awesome, you know. So I see some of you are utilizing the, some of you guys are utilizing the Skype room. Feel free. Sheep of the day, yeah. Well, I don't want to pick on the sheep though. It's you know, if the sheep are a little bit scared or whatever, it's different compared to somebody actually intentionally trying to lead people astray or scam people out of their money. So the sheep are innocent, whereas the trolls, the shills, the rats, the snakes, they're not. Let's see. We are family. That's what it is. And if you guys, here, I'm going to put another one out there for you. Hold on. I've got another document to shut those trolls up. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, you know what? No, I want to go over this with you guys. Let's see. Let's go over this together. This is something we can go over together. So let's take a look at this. This is that the article on New York Times. Will Uncle Sam pay your bills? Don't fall for it, all right? So let's take a look. I think this is going to be important. There's a lot of really good information in this. They thought they were knocking us, right? They thought they were knocking us. No, they're helping us, and they don't even realize it. They're helping us. So this is why I want to get some people that are willing to start writing some news articles of our own, so we can start putting them up. Like I said, I already have some passes to be able to put stuff up on some of these news sites. Who has fantasized about discovering a hidden bank account, perhaps funded by a kindly relative that could magically help us pay our debts? See how they try to make it sound like it's so far-fetched? That's part of the attraction of a persistent scam, because everybody's charging for this, that is floating around the internet. The pitch, however, is that the benefactor is Uncle Sam, and he is greedily hoarding piles of your cash that you can access any time to pay bills if you're in the know. The scheme, promoted in online videos as well as through emails and phone calls, tell of secret government bank accounts that consumers can tap into, pay their bills, or make purchases electronically using their Social Security number as an account number combined with a Federal Reserve Bank routing number, a number used by the Fed to sort and process payments between banks. In July, several regional Federal Reserve banks, including the Atlanta Fed, home to the office that handles most payments involving checking accounts, issued statements warning the public. Any video, email, phone call, flyer, or website that describes how to pay your bills using a Federal Reserve Bank routing number or using an account at the Federal Reserve Bank is a scam. A warning from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York said. Notice how they leave out the FBI part? The Atlanta Fed statement said in part that the Federal Reserve provides banking services only for banks. Individuals do not have accounts at the Federal Reserve. Let me just make sure as I'm doing this that we didn't have more people that hopped in line. Oh, we did. Okay. Hold on 1 second, bud, and I'm going to definitely get right there. I'm just going to rush through this. I wanted to point out a couple of key points. It is important for consumers to know that when making online or e-check bill payments, they cannot use the Federal Reserve routing numbers, the Atlanta Fed added. So, no, there is no secret bank account, and if you pretend that you do have one, your payment will be rejected and returned unpaid. From the end of June to August 15th, nearly 107,000 payments totaling in excess of 100 million have been reversed because of the scam, said Jean Tate, a spokeswoman for the Atlanta Fed, in an email. So from the end of June to August 15th, nearly 107,000 payments. Truthfully, I got to say, I think the number is a little higher than that.